Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis. And today we're going to be talking about Ripple and XRP, so let's just dive in. And let's start off with the elephant in the room, which is the fact that crypto has essentially lost all of the price action that it's gained over the last couple weeks. It is pretty crazy to see, but as you guys do see on the 24-hour span, there is double-digit plus figures down on a lot of these altcoins. There is some green, but it's not much, honestly. And on the 7-day span, most of those altcoins are still red for the most part. Which, hey, it does suck. It's rough to see, but we definitely have to be prepared for these scenarios. I always say on the channel, expect the unexpected. And in this market is extremely hard to predict. So you really can't take anyone's word for 100% certainty. Anything can change overnight, and that's basically what we did see around crypto. And when we go and look at the total around crypto in terms of the market cap, we're down about 19%. And you could see that this really kind of started to trickle back in the end of February. We started to lose momentum. We started to lose a lot of these EMAs. And then this day, March 3rd, was when everything changed because that's when we start to lose the 200 daily EMA. And when we start to lose that, it's pretty much all red. It's just the major signal that we're going to go much lower. And that's basically what we did see. But we were looking very, very good there for a minute because when we take a look at the total, I mean, we were trailing above the 200 daily EMA, and the last time that we trailed this good above the 200 daily EMA was going all the way back to December of 2021. And it was pretty crazy, but I seen a lot of people getting extremely bullish. And then all of a sudden, boom, this happens. Because again, emotions do play into things. Like when everyone's getting extremely euphoric, bullish, etc., and they're calling for, higher highs, this, that, it's usually time to de-risk. And we did talk about it in the Discord as well. We were very adamant about how, crypto basically looks pretty bearish, especially with Bitcoin, hitting some major resistance. But also, it doesn't help that this week we've seen some of the biggest announcements ever around crypto, and it wasn't good. We do see here from Andrew over on Twitter. If you're keeping score, White House announces plan to add a 30% tax to energy used to mine Bitcoin or any other digital assets. We also did see we've seen a big tax discussion on capital gains as well, basically doubling them. But then we also did see the New York Attorney General sues Qcoin and dubs Ethereum a security. Elizabeth Warren celebrates the Silvergate bank run and liquidation. Gensler pens op-ed and also tweets claiming nearly all of crypto is out of compliance, all within 48 hours. The White House, the Senate, the SEC, the New York Attorney General, and more to come. If you don't think all of this is coordinated, I don't know what to tell you. And yeah, again, like this is all like this is a tax on all fronts, right? You got to really corner the market. You really got to target it all at once. And this is like, in my opinion, the last stepping stone. We've seen this happen around the bottoms of 2020 as well, where we've seen like the most heightened fear levels possible. I don't know if this is going to 100% officially pen in the bottom or not. I can't tell you guys if we have the full on bottom or not within crypto. The best way to look at things like this is everyone will scream DCA average in, but you got to wait until the trend really forms. You got to wait until you see support forming and price actions kind of sustainable, because if not, you risk again trying to catch the fallen knife. So when we look at this market right now, anything can happen within the next couple days. We don't know, right? It's unquestionable. But one thing that I will like to know is we are seeing massive attacks on crypto. Is it manipulation? Is it this? Is it that? When we look at this market, we know that there's been a ton of corruption brewing behind the scenes of regulators around the space. Manipulation, yeah, you can call it what you want. Narratives will play out, but we also seen price action looking very weak leading up to this week. So all of this combined, it's a recipe for disaster. We did see over here from XRP Darren, judge rules in favor of Binance, and the Fed step in and ask to reconsider target on Binance. And yeah, so we reported on this just the other day, saying that it was a big win. Binance basically winning. And we do see U.S. trustee and the Justice Department appeals the confirmation of Voyager sale to Binance. Yeah, this is pretty crazy. I mean, I don't know what is going on in the US. Like, if you are watching this from inside of crypto, like, you should really be pissed off with what the US is trying to do. If you're outside of the US, then again, you should still be paying attention because this is a big deal. We are seeing internal conflicts within the US government. Like, these are agencies that are supposed to be there for people, supporting individuals and also protecting those individuals. But at the end of the day, they're just trying to cause more and more harm. This deal with Binance and Voyager is huge. It will allow creditors to be made whole again. And now we are seeing we're literally seeing the Fed stepping in and asking to reconsider this deal. This is insane to me. And yes, I do believe that Binance will be targeted. I do believe that Binance is most likely going to be targeted eventually. We don't know when, but it's going to be a big deal. We'll probably see it being completely blown out of proportion, just like everything else, and price action will follow through. But all of this is exactly why we need to have a strong presence within regulatory bounds within the US. We do see here from Tom Emmer the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act, the Securities Clarity Act, the Safe Harbor for Taxpayers with Forked Assets Act, the CBDC Anti-Surveillance State Act. The future of crypto in the U.S. will be determined by Congress and the American people, not the administrative state. And yeah, listen closely to this video, and then I will address a few things after this.
Thank you, Chairman Hill and Ranking Member Lynch, for holding this important hearing today. And thank you again to our witnesses for your testimony. Crypto technology is shifting economic power from centralized institutions back into the hands of the people. It's transformational, and it can be threatening to unelected bureaucrats and, quite frankly, some elected people here in Washington, D.C. This threat is most saliently observed through several recent administrative actions. On January 3rd, 2023, the Fed, FDIC, and the OCC issued a statement discouraging banks from holding crypto or servicing crypto clients on a, quote, safety and soundness basis. On February 7th, 2023, the Federal Reserve published a statement in the Federal Register seemingly turning this perspective into a final rule without following the public comment process outlined in the Administrative Procedure Act. In the midst of this, on January 27, 2023, the White House National Economic Council published, quote, the administration's roadmap to mitigate cryptocurrency's risks. This report summarizes President Biden's political plan to lawlessly abuse the administrative state to push American crypto firms and their United States customers into offshore, unregulated, opaque, and unsafe markets. These recent actions are an explicit display of what Congress and the American people already noticed. This administration is weaponizing the banking sector to debank legal crypto activity here in the U.S., using scare tactics to run an entire industry out of the country. And the collapse of FTX should warn us of the vulnerable position we are putting American consumers in when we don't compete to keep crypto firms on shore. Clearly, the administration's policies are motivated by a thirst for increased control over the American people, because here in Congress, crypto is not partisan. Republicans and Democrats have an 8-year history of working productively together on solutions to this space.
And, I completely agree with Tom Emmer on this. Like, we are seeing a thirst for control. We're seeing a thirst to, take over this industry and keep retail out. And for anybody out there that thinks that, I'm a conspiracy theorist on that, and that, it's some conspiracy theory that, oh, hey, the government wants retail out of crypto, and, this is that, whatever. Listen, take a step back and look at everything happening around crypto in the last couple weeks, months, even years. They don't want you to be able to stake as a service. Why? Oh yeah, that's right, because it harms the banks, takes dominance away from the banks. Okay, why don't they want you to, be buying and holding crypto and utilizing these exchanges? All right, yeah, that's right, because banks are getting cut off. Wall Street is getting cut off from these huge money-making opportunities within crypto. They want control. They want to have Wall Street enriching themselves off of yet again another opportunity for the retail sector. All of this is centered back to the banking sector and the traditional financial leaders that continue to, have their bank accounts filled with cash flow off of the backs of the retail sector. This is a big issue. And yeah, I do believe that Congress will 100% at some point in time step in and take control because we need it. Without that, like, we have no way of telling what's going to happen next in terms of regulations if Congress does not step in. We need some sort of, major momentum to be pushed within crypto regulations, and we need something to happen very soon, or else, again, in the US, we risk pushing crypto further and further offshore, and God knows what will happen after that. But the US is definitely losing the race in financial innovation as well as technological advancements utilizing DLT and blockchain technology. Now, I do want to end this video off with the fact that let's take a step back. Let's look at a few things. So, one, I think that this pullback within crypto is 100% healthy. We look here, this is like the Bitcoin monthly returns. Again, when we take a step back and look at Bitcoin real quick on where we are at today, we were waiting for this to happen. We finally got it. We were charting this for a while now. But as we look at Bitcoin in the month of March, so let's go back to the beginning of March. So here we have it on this candle here. We are down about 19%. Okay, I want you guys to look here at March of 2020. We came down 25%. A full 25% drop. I don't believe that we get it, but if we did see a 25% drop, it would be about like 18K yet again. It would be 24 it's like 24.95, I believe. Let me look here. So yeah, 24.92, anywhere within this range. It doesn't really matter. But anyways, I see a lot of people calling for like 18K or so. I think that where we are at now is perfect. I think that this range that we're seeing here at around like 19K, we could possibly come back down to 18K. It is a possibility. I've always talked about, us coming down to the 18K possibly. It doesn't really matter. All that I really want to give you guys is a quick assessment on the fact that March is usually always bearish. Go back in time. It does not matter if it was, this, that, whatever. It's usually always bearish. Now, yes, there was a few instances where Bitcoin was not bearish, for an example, or March was not bearish. For an example, on Bitcoin, we've seen 2021 be very good for March. 2022 also not that bad for March. 2019, not that bad, and also 2013. But for the most part, 2014, 15, 16, 17, 18, and even 2020 was pretty rough. And now 2023 is also pretty rough. Now, April. April is usually not too bad. I know that April for 2022 was not that great, but for the most part, we do see some nice figures here. Same with even May. May is usually not too bad. I know that 2021 was pretty rough, but going forward after March, we shouldn't see too much negative price action until June. And even then, June is questionable on what will happen. But I am definitely looking at a few things around crypto right now. I think that most people are extremely fearful. I've been looking at XRP as well. So with XRP, I do have an interesting take on XRP and what will happen eventually here soon. I have Matic over here and I have XRP, and I've been looking at this trend on Matic where I do think that we're kind of trailing sideways here. We get that nice little big movement, which is this one here on Matic. We have that trail down, and all of a sudden we just kind of trail sideways until we get that bottom point, and then we just kind of start trailing sideways yet again. Could we be here? It's questionable, but then I do think that we will get that expansion to the upside. I also think that we will see that here where we could possibly head to 60 to 65 cents, which will be very, very good. We might even clear this local resistance at about 66 cents. But it's going to be interesting on what happens next with XRP. Obviously, yes, the market needs to bounce back before we even talk about hypothetical, pushes to the upside. But I definitely am watching a few things right now around this market. One thing that I would love to see is some higher highs, sorry, and also higher lows, because that's right now the one thing that we are missing out on is the fact that, like, okay, well, what's happening with Bitcoin? What's happening with the global crypto market cap? What's happening with the altcoin market cap? Because this is the altcoin market cap here, and as you guys do see, the biggest bearish indicator right now is the fact that our price action is met with here's a high, here's a lower high, here's basically the same exact high, but it's even lower by a minimal percentage. But what we need to see is a higher low. We need to see a higher low form here. I would love to see this be the bottom point. This is significant support. I would love to see this hold. That way we can trail up and do something like this, where instead of lower highs, we actually get higher highs. And this could lead us to almost $1 trillion for the altcoin market cap and possibly start the major bull run yet again. But it's questionable on how long this could take. It's questionable on what will happen. Are we going to see a relief rally before, the macroeconomic negativity catches up to us? It's questionable. It's questionable on what happens, but anything can change. I always share the idea of like March of 2020 to the end of May of 2021, which was over a year. It was 423 days. We did almost a 30 or almost a 40x return on the altcoin market cap. This was a 3,951% move. So anything is possible in short time frames. I give you guys a little bit of an insight here as well to like almost the summer of 2020. This took about 171 days in total, but check out the gains on this. This was about a 360% or a 350%, sorry, push from the bottom. And this was just in 171 days. Anything is possible for a strong bounce in the market. Just to give you guys a quick insight, if we did a 350% run up where we are at now, we will create a new all-time high in the market, and we will be sitting at about almost $2.8 trillion for the altcoin market cap, which is pretty crazy to think about. But is this going to happen? We have no idea. But I will say, this market is extremely unpredictable. We have to watch price action form. We have to wait for the trend to sustain and start to build that floor. Right now, again, it really is a free-for-all on price action. So with that being said, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys definitely leave a like, subscribe to notifications on if you guys have more free content. You guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. So it's up to you all. Have a beautiful day, beautiful night. If you guys are on this before, this has been Nick. Peace out, guys.